So hello, welcome. We are here for the latest edition of Shapeshifters of Rathe. Bit of a slow month this month for events and so forth, so we're doing a little bit of a retroactive. We're coming up to a year of the podcast, and we thought it would be a really good time to see how far we've come. We've had so many changes, from people just turning up in cosplay to being appreciated by LSS with great promos such as Taylor, and then moving on forward and getting even better things for most participants or all participants in our events. So a very big thanks to Flesh and Blood for developing that. But today we're just going to here with Fyandan. He is Daniel from the UK. He is one of the first cosplayers in the European region, along with other people that we will shed light on and spotlight today. Dan, do a bit of an intro on yourself. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm all right. It's the morning. The day is new and full of promise. So hi everyone. I'm Daniel. I live in London, UK. I guess I was one of the first cosplayers in Europe, along with Maria, who did I've gone blank because it's terrible. The Ira, she was one of the early ones.
Yes.
And also I think Miss Chalice did Zeta really early. So yeah. I'm a kind of like a fairly fresh cosplayer. Like this is definitely a learning experience for me. But yeah, nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes, so this was your very first, I think, iteration.
Yes.
You came, that one was at the UK Nationals?
Yeah, I can't remember. UK Nationals 21, I think it must have been. Or was it 20? I'm really bad with the years, so...
I can't see a note there, but yeah, so that was quite early, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it must have been 21 because like in 2020 the game wasn't really available that much in the UK, so I think it must have been UK Nats 21.
Yeah, so yeah, 2022 or 21. I don't know, because there was a lot of problems, obviously, with COVID. Everything came to a standstill, right?
Yeah, exactly. Let's say 21. I think it was 21.
Yeah. Where are we? I like this picture.
Yeah, this got made. So there was like someone, I can't remember who was doing it, but maybe it was Steel Fur, my friend Finbar. One of the podcasters was doing a make-up imaginary card.
Yeah.
And I decided to do this, and it's basically the same as Spring Tunic.
Yeah.
But it has an ability at the bottom that if you forget and you haven't attacked, I think it is, you can still add your token.
I love it. and then we've got the other two. Oh, where are you in this picture?
I'm not in this picture. There are some other ones with me in it, but
I don't know why that one comes through.
This is the Leal.
There we are.
This one, yeah. This is Leal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really great. It was my first time meeting James properly, and he was a really good sport. Like we got a couple of videos kicking around of Maria, who's the Ira, kind of basically doing like kicking him in the head, and him kind of going, whoa. And then I did like a dance with him. So he was a really good sport. He seems like a nice guy.
He really is. Yeah, he's wonderful. I can attest to that too. Yeah. I will fill in the moment where I'm qualified to talk about all this as well. So just give us a little bit of history of what made you first do a cosplay, because it is an interesting story. We have covered it when you were cosplayer of the month.
Yeah. So essentially, I think it was after one of the Road to Nationals in 2021, let's say, in the UK, and I think my friend Finbar Begley, who's got the channel Steel Fur on YouTube, you should check him out. Very good analysis guy. I think he just won his second Road to Nationals, and we were just looking at the playmat. So it was like the Spring Tunic playmat and the extended art Spring Tunic. And I think we were just getting drunk and talking, and we are saying how great the art was. And, it less so now, but especially the first couple of years of Fab, pretty much every competitive deck ran it. Like
Yeah.
it was like you kind of needed to have it in a lot of decks. It's great art. So it was really iconic. And I was just like, I'm going to dress up as it. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a spring tunic. And then the next day I was like, what the hell am I doing? I've never done anything like this. And then it was I just like, yeah, I am going to do it. And I decided to try and get it ready for UK Nats. And I did.
Oh, it looked brilliant. So we're going to touch more on the UK scene very shortly, or should we just roll straight into that?
I don't mind. Let's roll into it.
Yep, and then we can come back to what's happened in the Asia Pacific, and then we'll give our uneducated versions of the US, as we don't have anyone to represent them, but we'll do our very best. This is Miss Chalice. So she did a brilliant, just in front of the camera. I think she said when she was on interview that there was a peg at the back holding it, but it looked so present, like you can see young Azalea there. And that was January 2020. So there was no prizes, there was no glory, so to speak, except for nailing it, I mean.
Yeah. And I was in that space as well, just doing it because I wanted to.
Yeah.
And then the people who ran UK Nats that year, Living Realms, who are a really good store in the north of England, they were like, well, we're going to include it. We know that no one was expecting it. No one asked for it. And they were really supportive. The community was generally really supportive of it. And they were like, well, we're going to take pictures, we're going to send it to LSS, we're going to say how great this was. And it ended up on the web page for the event, like you saw. So we were doing it because we wanted to.
Yeah, and I mean, it's brilliantly done, and I think she's done. There's some more. This is Miss Chalice. If anyone hasn't seen her, because it's been a while since she's been around. She's kind of back. She's doing another game that she really loves. She's a lot on. Always fail to remember them. Twitch, yes, she's very, very active on Twitch. And so she's kind of stepped away from Fab and moved to Twitch. This is really brilliant. And where is
that Crown of Reflection that she's doing in that one?
Yeah, it was Crown of Reflection. I just don't have the bath picture. She actually did the whole in the bath.
She was in the bath.
But I thought this was one she got some previews as well. I think this was the last one she did.
Yeah.
And then she started declining because she didn't feel she was active enough in the game.
Yeah.
And this was her at Lille.
Yes, exactly.
A friend of mine actually took this photo and sent it to me personally, so the resolution's reasonable.
Oh, good.
I went and met her and told her how much I enjoyed her work, and they sent all my messages to her. It was really nice.
Oh, great.
So, and here's Lyra. So this one's from Falling Krakow, 10th of February 2020, and there was Krakow. Was one of the ones that was a little bit affected by COVID, and it was put off a little bit. So I think it was supposed to be in 21, but ended up in 22. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's kind of worked on this costume and improved it over time as well. So she entered it, I think, in oh god, where was it? Antwerp, I think it was.
Yeah.
With like a new sword, and I think she's sort of been working on it over time.
Yeah, and then she ended up judging at one of the events, which I think was Lille.
Yeah, that's right. She was a judge for Lille, I believe. Yeah.
I had her on talking about being a cosplayer and being a judge and how it differs and how hard it is to judge our peers. She's a brilliant cosplayer.
Yeah, really grateful for her help judging. So I think, mentioned a few times on this channel that we think it's quite important to have a creator, ideally a cosplayer or at least an artist on the panel. And I know that's feedback we've given to LSS a couple of times. So
and
really grateful for her efforts in doing that.
Yeah, and I think they kind of listened. They pulled Essa in at the last event, so
yeah,
so it's good. It's good.
I do feel they listen, like not just on cosplay, but generally. Sometimes their hands are tied, like for a few months because they've already arranged stuff. But I do feel like they listen,
which is just so lovely.
Yeah.
So shall we move on to Asia Pacific? So Asia Pacific is where my realm is. I started very early in the story. I think I've got one of my early pictures in here. I'll just find it.
Yeah, I guess Asia Pacific is probably an interesting region because it's very diverse, right? You've got the kind of the fairly Western kind of Australasia, and then you've got the very Oriental northern parts of APAC. So it must be an interesting region to do cosplay in.
And we're all quite spread out. The connections are not as strong with the language barriers. Can make it quite interesting. So this is me in my so this was the first time I did Azalea. I went to Armageddon, which is like a Comic-Con in Auckland, and I was wandering around with, as you can see, this costume made with duct tape.
Is that just duct tape?
That is actually duct tape.
Brilliant.
So you can make cosplays out of anything. And I was rushing around and I was told, oh, this person's looking for you. And it just happened to be Sam Yang. He wasn't working with LSS just yet. He had his own artist booth and there was the Dash stuff there, and the only remorseless I had for him was my non-foil one, so I got him to sign it for me. And I don't know if many people know who MJ is, but she works for LSS. She is one of the lead art directors. And she is the one who designed all of the frames of the cards and the back of the cards and a lot of the lore book. So I was absolutely starstruck to be looked for by these people because I felt like I was not worthy.
Yeah, and it must be really
2021. Yeah, late 2021.
Yeah, because I remember seeing this and remember thinking, it was like a general convention. It wasn't like a fab event. It was a general geek convention, right? So you probably weren't expecting this to some extent.
No, I wasn't. I was constantly being called Katniss. Woman with a bow. I guess I'm Katniss. I mean, this is my original Death Dealer, which I used for a long time, but you can tell this is also made with duct tape and and love.
That's not an easy thing to make, though. Like, even if you're an experienced cosplayer, making a recurve bow can't be easy.
Well, I've now made it. It's now in 2 parts, so it has developed. So that was my first instance meeting anyone from LSS, which was absolutely amazing. And this was the Calling Auckland in 2021. February 2021. So it must have been late 2020 for the other photo. This is my young Azalea. I also made the tunic that my friend Georgia is wearing. I needed a red head. I told her to wear it. So that's my first one. Unbeknownst to me, that fabric turned to green.
Oh no.
Which kind of worked because she did a Rhinar pose, Rhinar and and I also made this crack bauble that Ellen is wearing.
Yeah.
which later was auctioned off for the Cancer Society.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Also at this event, I met James. I'll just see if I've got that picture available. I met James White for the first time, and that
Oh,
was
great.
just
Yeah.
absolutely wonderful. And just see if I can see that picture. He is the most, he's just so awesome to talk to. I feel I'm probably a little bit spoilt because I am able to talk to him a lot of events.
Yeah.
I get one-on-one time with him to a point.
Yeah. Well, I think, like, you're the home girl and you do a lot for, you're a real linchpin of the cosplay community. So I think it's well deserved.
I I just, yeah, well, I mean, I feel sometimes that I might I feel a little bit inadequate sometimes because, I mean, as I say, I mean, I made my first cosplay out of duct tape and love.
Yeah.
But this is me. I'm not, as far as my cosplays, these are my early cosplays, and
Yeah.
um, realizing, this is just a shirt that I redid, a
Mm-hmm.
belt, a double belt suspender that I put around to hold my quiver on my back.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a real basic build, but because I was
Yeah.
playing in it, and I like to play in my cosplayers.
No,
My
I'm the same.
and it was really funny because James goes, "Oh, can I get a photo with you?" And it says, "Oh, if you sign my card." So I got him to sign my Azalea, which notoriously has graded terribly because it was a knocked around token that lived in my bag.
Oh.
So it graded as a 5.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
but it's verified that he signed it, so that's okay. And my friend got him to sign his favorite hero, which is Kano.
Oh, yeah.
She is a Kano main or wizard main. I've made her an Icelander costume since and stuff like that.
Nice.
There has been other callings where there was another cosplayer in our area. So before we even got prizes, every calling I'd wear a costume. So I've done Lady Bottomont. I've done for another Auckland calling, and I also did some events that people put on. I wore. I've done Cavdeen and a few other really fun like ones. And Lexi Livewire I did for one of our nationals, and I went down. I wasn't qualified. I just went down and cosplayed, and it was really fun.
Yeah, neat.
Um,
Yeah, I think you're really prolific. I think, like, you've definitely been one of the people who's done the most number of costumes over time.
I think it's because I've had a lot of time. Um, Yeah, there is one person who's probably made more costumes, but she seems to speed run things. So, and we'll come to her when we get to the
Yeah,
American portion,
yeah,
because she
yeah. You
is
are talking about who I think you are. Yeah,
yeah, she is the speed run queen, and
yeah,
she has always stood really well. But I cannot speak. So we're going to move on to talk about Asia Pacific
yeah,
and how that's where it's come from. So I, the problem with Asia Pacific, it is kind of a little bit disjointed all over the place.
mm,
Um, Trying to find early photos was a little bit difficult. I have found the first Taylor recipient because, as we talked about it, you were the first recipient at the Uprising Europe event,
yeah,
because there wasn't so much notice about it happening.
yeah. Exactly. And
That's
I
right,
did.
hey? Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And I had the costume ready from UK Nats the year before.
yeah, yeah. And that was so. Uprising was the first for the rest of the world.
Yeah,
In the US, they had Pro Tour as the first of Taylor. We can go into Taylor's history and the promo's history in a moment. So what I found was that we have in the Asia Pacific, I found some photos from early stuff. It will be in with my photo there. So we'll go back to that one. In with this photo. Oops. Come back, you. There was. We have Saha. So Saha was the very first recipient in the Asia Pacific area for a tailor. Saha as a student from Australia, I'm not entirely sure which area, but at the Uprising World Premiere, she was the first recipient in our area that got a tailor, which was absolutely amazing. There were 4 cosplayers, I believe. There was Lexi Livewire and 2 others, but for some reason I cannot remember them, and it's been very hard. I've been stalking, trying to find photos, but unfortunately on the Fab page there's only the winner, and I know that they exist. But I trawled Twitter for hours, and it's very, very hard to find.
Yeah, a lot of social media sites make it very hard to find specific things.
So yeah, big ups to her for being the first tailor recipient, but big ups to all the others that actually were able to have a cosplay at this event, and congratulations to you all. I am ashamed that I can only remember the Lexi Livewire, but that was one I was also working on myself, so I appreciated her work, so I really loved it. And then I've got one of the early pictures from, I'm hoping this is the earlier one. Yes.
Yeah, from like East Asia.
There's East Asia. So Singaporean in the genus. Timirin is from Japan, and I have a little featurette on her coming up. Hopefully I get it finished for the end of the month or so.
Right.
With English as a barrier, it was a hard interview, so it's going to be like a featurette rather than a proper interview, but a featurette.
Oh, great.
This young lady, this lady here, she is the one who did the beautiful Levia costume later on. This was her
it's
first
the same
costume.
lady who did the massive Levia one.
Yeah.
Ah,
and
great.
then we've got this gentleman here. He has also been on the podcast.
Yeah.
I thought this is the best way to feature more people from the area.
Yeah, definitely.
As soon as you I don't know as much about the other few. This lady is also from Singapore. She is a good friend of the person at Genus. I tried to get her on to talk, but she was super nervous, so she didn't come on, but that's fine. But the representation, you can see the building, the variation in our area. It's like so for most, so there's only been one event that had a cosplayer that competition that unfortunately only had 2 entrants, and I think that was the latest one.
Phuket, right?
Phuket, yeah. And so Timirin was the young Levia, and then we had another cosplayer doing so unfortunately there was only 2 there. But I think it's because of Japan.
Maybe, yeah, because it's only like 2 months
a lot
apart,
of people
right?
changing because we've got so many events on. I think that's what's happening there. We did have a big event in Queenstown this year, which was really great, which attracted people from all over the world, which was really nice. And I got to meet Timirin in person. I got to meet Rachel. I got to meet Carolina and Dex from the States.
Yeah.
And my only regret is they were all so busy with everything because it was celebrational that I didn't get to spend more time with them. It's probably a good point to move on to the UK. Or the UK, the US.
Yes.
The US. So with the US, a lot of things started in the start of the US. They had the notorious, not Star City, but the other organization that were organizing all the things for Fab, and they were big time in the Magic the Gathering scene. So they kind of brought over from Magic the Gathering some cosplayers to start off. And these were the first cosplayers we saw in the US. Not to discount them because they still made beautiful costumes. Commission people are still working hard at cosplay. But they're not the same entry as we have had with the entering as a person that just loves the game. Not to say that I haven't seen any of these people play, because they have played, but they are beautiful cosplayers. But
And I think
they
like
are commissioned.
because it was so early on in cosplay for Fab as well, they probably didn't really
Yeah.
know who they could reach out to that they could rely on.
Yeah, that's the one. But these guys did a really brilliant job. They
I remember these.
So we have Olivia Gilbert Hicks. She is Prism. We have Tappy Toe Claws, who is Dash. She's famously known for doing a character from Magic the Gathering called Chandra. So redhead was really easy for her.
Yeah, I saw the redhead, and when you were talking, I was thinking, like, is it going to be Chandra? Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, so she's a very well-known Chandra cosplay. But she does do other cosplayers, but she's well known for that. And then we had Christina Sprinkle with Dorinthia. So these are three very well-known US cosplayers that do a lot of events for. Why do I keep thinking? I can't think of the name of the company. They've had a bit of a downfall. Channel Fireball. That's the one. Yes.
I thought you were being discreet, and so I didn't say.
Yeah, Channel Fireball. Channel Fireball's doing in different directions now, so that's fine. But that they did a great service to helping Flesh and Blood to grow. How it ended is how it ended, but they did a great job bringing the world to the cosplay.
And the other thing I love about this picture is that all three of them pretty much have chosen their mask to fit the costume.
Yeah.
So like, like white for Prism, chainmail for Dorinthia, and just kind of black for Dash. That was a really nice move. I remember seeing them though. I think this was like part of my inspiration starting off though, like seeing that people were doing this and having fun, and it was wanted.
Yeah. And there's James with the cosplayers. So this, I think, is actually at Pro Tour, where we had our first cosplay competition.
This is Pro Tour 1, right?
This is Pro Tour 1, New Jersey, where the first Taylor was given out.
This is my favorite Katsu costume, the one with the laser eyes. It's like,
oh yes,
it's favorite. It's my favorite Katsu cosplay.
It's so cool.
And he's really owning the pose as well. Like his energy is like, I love it.
He's great presence, eh? Very great presence. So there's our winners. So I've actually featured this husband and wife. She made both the costumes.
Yes, I remember that.
She was wonderful, and they ended up with the booklet. And of course, we've got the beautiful So I think they gave 2 tailors out for some
They
reason.
did, yeah. They gave to Cavdian and to Carolina. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, the Cavdine and Carolina were beautiful. And they it seems like they go in strength to strength in the States, and I mean having worlds as well made a huge difference to what happened in that area as well.
Yeah. And the good thing about this picture is if you said to someone if you said to someone there are 2 professional cosplayers in this picture and 3 entries by amateurs, which one's which, you wouldn't know immediately which one was which, right?
You wouldn't know.
Yeah,
No,
and that's really great.
Yeah, I think that's a testament to how we hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Don't people don't feel intimidated about trying it because everyone's welcome.
Yeah, and also like over time we have some very intricate, well-made costumes, but also we have a few costumes where people just want to throw something together and have fun.
Yeah.
And I think that cosplay's for everybody, as we always say, and there's space for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. We'll just talk about the cosplay, the addition of the beautiful cosplay. Cosplay. The Taylor, the announcement of Taylor.
Yeah, that was a really big moment.
Really big moment. It made so much difference to. Wonder if did it come along with me? So yes, it did. So pretty much it says here, we really appreciate what cosplayers bring to the community and recognize them. We have created Taylor, a double-sided cold foil hero available exclusively to official cosplayers featuring at selected premiere events across the world. Taylor will make a debut at Pro Tour New Jersey, May 13th and 15th, where you can see her brought to life. So that's 2022 was the very first Taylor. And what beautiful art.
I know. Like, I did sell mine, but I was really on the fence about it. And in the end, I only sold it because I had a bit of debt, and I thought it's just a sensible thing to do.
Yeah.
But having had the card in my hands and had looked at it a lot, it is an amazingly beautiful piece of art.
Yeah, she is gorgeous, and we're so thankful to have this beautiful piece. And I'm very excited that what they've done with the participation, like the needle. Everyone gets a needle because we're all tailors. It's really great.
Yeah, the extra prize support a year or so later was really welcome.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and I mean, I remember talking to James at the Auckland Calling, where I came third equal. Couldn't even get my own tailor. That's okay. I came third equal at this one as Azalea Tri-Shot with the gas mask and all.
Oh, yeah.
I got beat off by the OG genus being Jean, so I do not feel ashamed. Gene dressing as himself, he's got to get a prize. But we came second. But yeah, I remember James saying to me, "We've got something special coming." I says, "Can you include me in this? Just I want to. I won't spoil it. I won't spoil it." He didn't trust me enough. But I was very pleased to see it when the rest of the world came. And for it, it was a brilliant thing, and I was so happy for everybody to. And I retroactively got my participation prizes, which was great.
That was another really good thing they did last year. Was they said we're gonna have like top 8, top 4. But then they said these are the events that we're applying it to earlier in the year, and like they did it for all the events that year. And I think I got an email with a form to fill out, and it was just like that wasn't because
we didn't expect it.
No, and
Yeah.
it didn't have to do that. And I
No.
think it's just really, I think it just says, it shows they really value the cosplayers. Nobody's perfect, but I think steps like that just show that they really want to support it.
Yeah, and I mean, I was able to. Unfortunately, I did sell. I was able to sell some of the needle and that, so
Yeah.
I would have, I would be able to travel to Melbourne and got myself
Yeah.
another set. So yeah, it was worth it. And yes, I'm a little bit sad that I did sell my spring tunic flippy fabric one because now it's not existent and I feel a little bit of seller's
Yeah,
remorse.
no, I'm the same. When they change now that it's scab skins, leathers, not the tunic, I'm like, oh no, why did I do? But then I needed the money again, so
Yeah,
it's fine.
yeah. It helped pay for my trip. And
Yeah,
then that's the
exactly.
thing, I don't know if everyone's seeing, "Oh, yeah, it's EV, it's money," but cosplay costs a lot of money.
It does. It really does. I've been buying all kinds of stuff.
And this is a great gift. We can have little momentums or and because we can take photos with them, and we can also fund so we can make more beautiful artwork for this game we play or bring more artwork to life, which is
Yes.
just amazing.
I'm so excited for the new set because the Marvel artwork just looks amazing. I like the Japanese kind of traditional aesthetic is definitely one of my vibes, and I'm just super hyped for the new set.
Yes, I was going to talk about the new things. I need a new tab. So I I think we talked about the new cards in part the Mistvail in the last one, but we've had a couple of newer ones, and also you can point out the ones you love, anyways. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So we'll just share that so you can share what you're loving because um, it's going to be fun. I see so many brilliant things that we're going to be able to bring, and it's going to be absolutely fun. Right,
yeah.
here
I
we
really hope
are.
the event goes well because
Well,
there's a bit of
I,
a high stakes event. I feel.
mm, I think the fact that it's in a country, um, so there is a few new cards in the
Yeah.
February, but was there a card you think is absolutely wonderful that you want to show off first before we go into what's new?
Yeah. So my favorite ones are the lady with the spring blossom and the one above, the honor the ancestors, and then this one.
Great.
I just love this kind of, this is very the art style is a very traditional Japanese art style,
Yeah.
with a bit of a modern twist. And I just love it. I need these cards. I need them. I'm gonna have to get all the marbles from this set.
It's gonna be a very expensive set for a lot of us, I think. Um, just saying. And the person who
Yeah.
got the spoiler, Yuri, she did was it Yuri that got this one? I think it was. Did a really, really cool, little cosplay to go with it too.
Yeah. And the one
This one,
above, the ancestors one, I like that one.
Homage to the Ancestors. Oh, that's gorgeous. That is nice. I do like that one. That one
But
could be a really interesting cosplay too.
yeah, like like the guy who did Art of War. You could do it a bit like that. There's like have thick hands reaching down, and I think like with art like this, the more you look at it, the more you see.
Oh, yes. I
Because there's
see
like a
more
tiny
now.
little cat. There's a tiny little cat in the bottom.
Oh, there is two. And that's the thing. The more we and when we see these cards in person, we're going to be like, wow.
I
So
know.
we have. I mean, this one's probably not cosplayable.
Building, yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to stop people from being a building. This one's quite cool.
Yeah, I could see someone doing that at some point, like the
There's a
armory
big
guy.
The golden anvil. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks quite staunch.
Yeah, and also like it would be apart from the weapon, it would be quite a good cosplay for a beginner. It's not super complex, and if you're not entering a competition with it, you can just buy all those clothes probably if you go to like a medieval store. Obviously, to enter the competition, you need to have made the majority of it yourself, which you can do. I'm partway through making a medieval smock, so because I want to enter it in a competition, so I need to make most of it. That's a real learning experience. But you know, if you don't want to enter it, you just want to cosplay it, I think you can probably buy all that stuff if you want to. So yeah, that's the good thing, I think. Like the artwork is very varied in how complicated it is for people to cosplay, and so you can kind of pick your level. Are you going to do this one? Are you going to do
I'm
it?
thinking about it. I am seriously thinking about it. It is Azalea's arm, so
yeah,
you know,
building on the theme.
yeah. I've done a lot of Azalea ones. I don't think it's a bad thing to not do another one, but I mean, locket is interesting.
This is also interesting also because it gives more detail, you know, because sometimes when as cosplayers we want to, it's a balance between getting the information from the artwork about what you need to do versus having creative license yourself. So this would be useful for a lot of people because, as you say, it gives a close-up on what her arms are like, and a lot of people will find that useful.
Yeah. My friend got the judge, jury, and executioner mat, and I took a photo of it because sometimes just making things bigger on a digital screen does not give you the details at all.
No, and I think that's why I decided to do Spring Tunic, because I was with Finbar. We had the mat. You know, the mat is way bigger than the card. Like a mat is like 50 times bigger than the card, and we were just looking at all the detail, and you know, and that was why I chose to do it. I think so. This one would be. I think like I have talked to some people about what do you think the hardest cosplay to do would be, and I think adult Riptide is definitely up there, mostly because half of his body is rotted away.
Yeah.
And new KO, because he's one arm. People have talked about how could you do new KO.
Yeah. There's going to be a definite interesting thing. This one, the shadow. I don't know if the quality of this picture is very good because I think it's a screen grab.
Yeah,
but that's another creature with many heads.
Yeah, there's 4 there. I can see at least 4.
Yeah, and the tongues.
I know it's. Ugh. Let's not look at that for too long.
Well, just look at a room blade thing then. Which looks
I'm really glad. I love the adult Vin set that was at Phuket.
Yeah, and this looks like they're taking the essence of somebody.
Yeah, well, putting something in them, maybe one way or the other. But that's nice because, like, I just realized that's a rune chant behind them.
Oh, it is too.
It's the same design, more or less, as the rune chant. Just noticed that.
And then we've got, obviously, these are Team Covenant promos. I don't know. There was some promos going around.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if these are the Team Covenant ones or not. But it's another great armor. And we've got some really great armor smiths.
Yes. And I really like the raggedy fabric.
It leaves a lot of room. I like that.
Maybe this is one for Henrik's next cosplay.
Maybe. It's very imposing.
Yeah. That would be a lot of work, though.
I think that's all of the new ones anyways. Yeah, that's all the new ones. Oh, and we had the reveal of the spectral shield, which I think is very pretty.
Yeah, and actually, because it's kind of like so in Japanese kind of magic, you have a thing. They have these like paper slips with incantations on them, and I think this is meant to be one of those paper slips with an incantation on it.
That's very nice.
Yeah. And then this phoenix one, this bird one, like second from the left. This big bird, this is the phoenix one. That's another one of my favorite bits of art from the set I've seen so far.
I think all the marbles have just kind of kicked it out of the park.
It's just a phenomenal. Like,
Mm.
I need these in my life.
Yes, and not to be forgotten, this one is just everyone loves this card.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like
it
Japanese
may not do
demons.
great things, but it's a pretty
Yeah,
card.
it's a fun piece of art.
Oh yes, definitely a fun piece of art. Um, so we've got a few upcoming events. Warsaw, is that somewhere you might be going or no?
No, well, I was on the fence about Amsterdam and Warsaw because they aren't, they're not too hard to get to, like within Europe.
Mm.
And then I bought tickets to go to Japan for Osaka.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you'll be in
Yeah,
Osaka.
yeah. So I'm
Yay!
going to Osaka in
Going
November.
to
So
Worlds.
yeah, exactly. So the history was, I'd planned to go to Osaka with a friend of mine for November because it's their autumn colors season. But then my friend got a job in America, so we cancelled the plan. My friend will be
Yep.
in America for 2 years, so we'll cancel the plan. And then they announced Osaka, and I was like, no, and I have lots of air miles, and
Mm.
normally with air mile tickets, you have to book them a year in advance because they release about a year in advance and they sell very quickly normally. But it
Yep.
was like 6 months of notice, and I was like, I'll just see if there's some air miles tickets, expecting there to be none, and there were. And
Oh
then the
wow.
price that so you pay air miles and some cash, and I looked at the
Yep.
price, I was like, I'm gonna do it.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. So my next cosplay is also good because my next cosplay is going to be for Osaka. I'm
Yep.
allowed 2 suitcases, so I'm going to have a suitcase of normal stuff, and I'm going to have a cosplay suitcase.
Oh nice.
And then I'm going to try and leave the cosplay suitcase somewhere when I'm not needing it. I can just leave it in like a left luggage facility or something, maybe. I don't know. I haven't
Yep.
figured it out yet.
We'll have to touch base with some of our Japanese
Oh
correspondents,
yeah,
maybe
exactly. So
someone
if
can
if
help you
you
out.
if you got contact with Tamarin, like if she's going to be there, I'll try and like do something with her, say hi, and take some pics.
Oh, definitely. I think also Rachel will be there too, so you'll be able to
Mm.
meet up with Rachel there.
Yeah, I met Rachel and Carolina at oh god, where was it? A recent event. I can't remember which one. And like you
So
said,
that would have been Worlds? No,
yeah, it was Worlds in Barcelona. Yeah, thank you
Barcelona,
for
yeah.
reminding me. Yeah, yeah, and like you said, it's really great to meet the people that because our Discord is quite active. And a lot of these people are well known, but we talk to them virtually. But it's really great when you can meet them in person.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it is wonderful. And it was it's wonderful that you're going to be able to take that opportunity to go there. We've got in Warsaw and world premiere in Osaka. So
Yeah,
hopefully there'll be some cosplays there.
I hope
Um,
so. Like,
yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely looking to see what people are doing over the summer. At least summer for the Northern
Mm,
Hemisphere. And
yeah,
you guys have had
yeah.
your summer.
We have. It's okay. We don't mind coming to the north to get to the sun again. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Um, and hopefully next year I'll be traveling again. I said to my partner something about Japan. He goes, "Oh, maybe next year you can go to Japan." I said, "It's probably not going to be in Japan next year. Maybe somewhere else." So
Yeah, like I think now they are definitely hitting. I think they're now trying to hit a big event every year in each region.
yeah,
I think they're just trying to make sure there's a calling or bet or higher in every region at least once.
yeah, yeah. So that means that hopefully next year we'll have Worlds, say, back in the US. We'll
Yeah,
have maybe a PT in Europe and a PT in Asia Pacific, maybe.
yeah.
That
Like
would be
yeah,
kind of cool.
people love second guessing where they're going to go next, right? It was like, oh,
Yeah,
is it going to be here? Is it going to be there?
and they've
And
done a
then
good job of
yeah,
giving us a bit more forerunner this time. So we've got up till the end of the year. So if I wanted to go
yeah,
to Australia, I could plan to
yeah,
go there.
yeah, exactly. Because even if you've got a PT and whatever, which most people don't, um, going to Japan from Europe is not just a drop of the hat decision. So if they had announced it a couple of months in advance, I wouldn't have been able to go for lots of reasons. But now I can plan for it, both cosplay plans and just regular plans. So I need lots of regular plans for this trip as well.
Yeah, time off and all that kind of stuff, right?
Oh, don't. It's taking all my holiday. But it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, I guess that kind of goes to what we're looking forward to. I guess you're looking forward to that and nationals, obviously.
Yeah, so UK Nationals the last couple of years been qualification based. I think it always has been qualification based in the UK because we're lucky to have a fairly large community. We're a small country in terms of area, but we are highly populated. So we have quite a vibrant, well-known scene in the UK. Lots of players who do really well on the international stage as well. That was one of the things that was really nice from the Pro Tour we just had. Was I think the European players really turned out and took most of the top 8 spots, which was really great to see. So UK Nats, I qualified the first year because the first year was like 90-day XP. So I qualified for that, did the tunic that we talked about earlier. Then I didn't qualify for 2 years, and I qualified this year because generally, like as the game has developed, I just had to accept I'm gonna be like a lower tier player. I can't keep up with the semi-pros, and I can't play 10 games a day and stuff. So I've just had to accept it. But I think one thing that they've done, I think LSS have done really well at, is callings. I think are really attractive to players of all types. Like if you're like competitive, you want to win 10 grand. There's that. But I think they've really nailed the last year having the right variety of side events. And I think you can go to a calling now and have fun regardless of what kind of player you are and what you want to get out of it. So anyway, I qualified for UK Nats this year by doing one road to nationals, and it was a draft one, and then coming in the top 4, which was unexpected for everybody because my elo is 1380. So like I think I've got an evil plan for UK Nats, which is hopefully to do really well and then destroy people's elo so that they don't qualify for once.
Well, that is indeed a very evil plan. Yes, that I think at a road to Nats, I sat down across from Matt Rogers and I made him sweat, which made me feel great.
Yeah.
He's still with me in the end. Because down to not enough defense for me on my Kasai draft build, but I made his job very difficult. I, for some reason, had 1 win because I won the first round, ended up in the 2-win bracket, and sat across from a very accomplished player that I admire. He always has time for me at events. I'm able to ask him lots of questions. And he was getting married the next week, so he was using the last of his bank time so that he could go and play cards. And then I think I met Hamal at that event too, because he was over for the wedding and came and played at our Road to Nats. And he's a very cool guy too. Not what I expected from a basically pro player. It was nice to just talk to people that, and they didn't look down on me because I'm like a super casual. So that's nice. And Matt's always supported me anyways. So
and I've had games like that where, obviously like these matchups tend to happen in the early rounds of the big event often. But I've definitely had this scenario where I've beaten like people in the UK who are basically at pro level and felt really proud. Like it's like, I can do it. I can't do it all the time, but it can happen sometimes.
I haven't done it yet, but I will do it one day.
Go for it, Lynette. I believe.
Well, I've only ever qualified for Nats once, and that was on the back of a very good Lexi meta.
The Lightning Lexi time. Was it Ice or did
you Ice Lexi? I never played Lightning Lexi.
Okay.
I always played Ice Lexi. So I was on Ice Lexi before it was cool. No. tried out Lightning Elixir, it didn't fit right.
Okay.
Because I'd played a bit of Ninja and Viserai and Azalea, it kind of fitted better to slow things down and then hit big.
Yeah, and that's kind of why for a while I was playing Dash, because I like
Mm.
the Ninja go wide, and for a while Ninja wasn't bad, like a little while ago. It's really good again
Mm.
now.
Yeah,
But really it was bad for a while. So I went on to Dash because I was like, well, that's the other go wide, and I like the go wide.
yeah. Go wide is good, and I can't wait to try the new Ninja.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm so excited for that. Thank you for mentioning that. I'd almost forgotten. Yeah, because it's kind of like monk style. Like his weapon
Yeah.
is a very traditional monk staff weapon. The tigers thing, I think people have been sleeping on tigers for a while. That the cards have
Mm.
been out for a little while now, but people maybe haven't tried much or tried it and it hasn't worked. So people think that tigers hasn't happened yet, right? So we got these cards waiting to happen.
Yeah, the Ira deck that is Tiger based in the round table is really fun to play. If
Ah,
you
okay.
want to have a play with tigers, get your
Yeah.
hands on the Ira deck in the round table and have a play.
Ah.
It's very fun.
Yeah, I have a round table, and you know what? Oh, this is shameful. I didn't know it was an Ira Tiger deck because I've not even opened it yet.
I
Shameful.
I have opened mine and sleeved it because
Oh
we've
yeah,
played as a group. We play just it's it's like having a board game. So I can pull it
yeah,
out and we can
yeah,
sit and play it.
yeah. That was my
So
plan for it too. Like basically turn it into a board game.
mm, because I have some Magic games that are a bit like that you can play out of the box. I think I got Arch
Uh,
Enemy. You've
yeah,
got 4 decks where you're planeswalkers, and then there's the big bad, and you've got to kill them. So
yeah.
that's another one I just have on my shelf, and we can play out of the box. Both my daughters know the basics of Magic,
Uh,
but for that point is the reason why that neither of them have been interested in Fab, because they got ruined because Magic was not great for them. Um,
okay. That's a pity.
so I ruined them by introducing them to the wrong game. But my younger daughter loves opening cards with me, so that's good.
Oh, cool. Yeah, cracking packs is always fun.
Yeah, cracking packs is always good, and she cracks pretty good cards. Like she doesn't want to keep them anymore.
Mummy can have them.
So yeah, I think we're coming to the end of our chat. Anything else you wanted to mention, or that you
No,
felt
like
that has changed from the beginning? I mean, we've been here a long time, you
yeah,
and I. We've seen a lot of change. The community has ebbed and flowed, and I mean, the US seems to have absolutely exploded. But when you think about it, they only really have PT and their nationals for events. So
yeah. They
when
have
they
fewer
have an event,
things.
they make a big effort.
Yeah,
Um,
I think the
um,
main point is just how much the quality has improved the last couple of years. Because we've only had officially backed cosplay for 2.5 years. In terms of
mm,
having prizes, so let's say 2 years, and you've
yeah.
seen real growth in that 2 years, and you've seen individuals grow within that as well.
Oh, yes,
Like,
yes.
and I really love. Thank you. I want to say thank you to you for setting up the more organized side of the community, doing these podcasts, setting up the
Yeah,
Discord, because I can't always be super active on there, but I do check in. And I really like the community that we're growing.
yeah.
I mostly see
Um,
the European cosplayers for obvious reasons.
yeah,
But we
time
really
zone.
support it. We've got a really nice supportive community that even though at the end of the day it is a competition,
Yeah.
everyone wants everyone to do their best. Because
Mm,
anybody could be the person whose costume falls apart the 10 minutes before, and no one wants to be that person, and so we help
mm,
each other. So
yeah.
I'm really grateful that we have this community. So thank you for helping set it up.
Yeah, and I'm very thankful to Essa. He's come on as a help as a moderator for the Discord, and
Mm.
he's actually helped me a lot because this is the first Discord I've ever set up,
Oh
and it
yeah.
grew way quicker than my
Mm.
ability has ever been. And Essa came on. I just shouted out for help. And
Yeah.
Rachel and Essa both came on because I think I had you and one other helping me
Yeah.
early on, one from
Yeah.
the States. Um, because the European and the American areas just grew so exponential that I felt that I needed a couple of extra moderators, because
Yeah,
as you
wonderful.
said, it's a big job.
Yeah,
Being a
and
moderator.
and none of us can be online all the time.
Exactly.
And I don't know
So
if it's the same for you, but my Discord has like 30 servers on it, so sometimes I get a bit lost in the servers.
yes, it's growing. I mean, I've got the Pitch Perfect League pod thingy, and I've got the So
Yeah,
and
oh, that's a question actually. You mentioned Pitch Perfect. Is the Women's Rainbow League still going? Because that was
yes,
that was an
we've got.
initiative I really loved.
We're going to be doing another one.
Oh, great.
So that's coming up soon. They started pushing. That people will be seeing reviews of different people on Twitter. They've asked people to submit. I've submitted. I don't know when mine will be true, if they've picked mine, but everybody's been really excited, and I think it's going to happen just before like June or July, so before
cool.
nationals.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that, but it's going to happen soon.
Yeah.
And we're all getting very excited. And we've recently opened up. So if any people that are from the rainbow community and female players are wanting to be a part of the Discord, they've actually opened it up so that we can all chat and get to know each other before things happen. And I think that they're going to have a larger cap this time too.
Oh,
So
cool.
I'm really looking forward to that.
I've got a quick question. Is it people who identify as men but are basically in the Rainbow League as well, or is it for women with the rainbow added in?
It's women with the rainbow ended in.
That's fine. Yeah. No, I think it's really great because, historically women don't always have a great time at card games. But I think Fabs actually do. I'm a man, so I can't speak, but my experience is I think Fab's doing okay at that.
Yeah, I played Magic, and I've walked into the room and been the only female in the room.
Yeah.
And I've been very fortunate. I've heard some very horrible stories from people in the States and abroad. I've been very lucky that my only negative experiences have actually been some store owners.
That's not good.
Not players. But New Zealand has kind of got its own eco bubble going on. And whenever I went to events, I knew some big events, I knew owners of the stores of the big events because I went to school with them. So I had those connections, so I never felt that I didn't belong. Although it was a bit ironic playing the one other female player in a room of 120 players.
No, it always happens though. That the equivalent for me is like I go to the other side of the world, and round one you play someone from your LGS.
Someone you travelled with.
Always happens. Guaranteed.
Yeah. You play someone from home, yeah.
But
so I have been very fortunate, but I know that other people have very challenging situations within the TCG realm. And as a cosplayer, also female cosplayers can have a hard time as well, and some males. It's a very a lot of people go, oh yay, a female's dressed up, and then they see a male and they don't give them the same appreciation.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that I've felt because my cosplays so far have been gender swap. So I've always felt a bit of pressure, but I've got to the point that I do get a few side eyes, but I just don't care because I can deal with the 5% side eyes because I get the 95% who accept it and like it.
And our community is so accepting, as you say, and everybody is like, you want a gender swap? Go for it. You want to
we've got a few people
horror version,
and we've got a few people swapping from female to male as well. We've had Bravo, and I know she's working on some more stuff. That particular person I remember doing Bravo. So we're getting people swapping all over the place. So, it's fun times.
Yeah, and that's what cosplay is. It's the play with costumes in the game that we love. And we'll end it with that. People, if you really love this content, please jump on and make a comment, share this, And subscribe. I'm still very low on subscribers. Really would love some more. I know we are a niche, but we are a niche that loves the game, and we want every bit of support is appreciated. Fyandan, you'll find him around on sometimes. Are you Twitter or are you anywhere?
No, I used to have a Twitch, but I kind of dropped that. So I'm just like living under a rock. So don't worry.
Well, you will find Dan. He will pop in every now and then on the Discord if you're coming into the Discord.
Yeah.
But he is a silent supporter and a staunch cosplayer in the UK, and we really appreciate everything you've done for trailblazing in this area. Because
Thank you.
gender swap was a full new thing for Fab. So
yeah, and we
you did it. You were the first.
Yeah.
Yay! And you can find me FABtcg everywhere. You've obviously found my YouTube by watching this, but yeah, I even go under FABtcg on Telesha. Please be nice to me. So most of the time I'm very tired when I'm playing on Telesha. But thank you very much, and can't wait to see what happens for your future trips, and I hope to touch base with you again. We've got new wonderful news coming in the next episode, which is our year anniversary. So please tune in for that next month.